Hey there, real quick before we begin, you're about to watch a live stream, which means you're really kind of behind the scenes here because these lessons are usually watched in the archives, but you're here for the live taping of them. So if we mess up really bad, we're probably going to chop that out, but you're going to get to see all of our bloopers and mistakes. We'll also chop this off, so no one is going to see this part of the lesson but you. And because you're behind the scenes, you're probably going to ignore my instructions when I say, like, pause the video and go practice or whatever. You can if you want. It's just that everyone in the chat room then will be in different places in the video. That's fine. When you want to join us live again, go down to the bottom of the video, click on the live button, and that should take you straight to where we actually are now. So now here comes the part for everybody else. I'm really glad you're with us. The archives are fine, but my favorite is talking to you live. So see you in the chat room. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock here, the lesson is about to begin. If this is your first time playing piano, welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. Hopefully you already received from us the welcome packet in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names of the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Joplin Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a Question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started.
Cool. Welcome back. We're doing Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's kind of a long song, but we'll get into all of that later. First, let me introduce you to the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what, Jamin? I am currently working on like 12 music collaborations with other musicians, and it is so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy, but I'm very much looking forward to working more on a lot of these projects.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
you.
Yeah, you seem like you're always just doing music stuff.
I do my best.
Yeah, all right, cool. Well, yeah, we're always doing music stuff around here.
Yeah.
Clapple's wanting us to move ahead with our music stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into our song. Let me show you some... Hi, buddy. Good to see you. Some good news and some bad news about this song. So the bad news is it's really, really long. Sorry. And it's really, really fast. Bummer. Okay, but the good news is it's really repetitive. The second half is the exact same thing as the first half, pretty much, with just the exception of a couple notes at the end. So if you could like get about halfway through, you've actually got the whole thing. So at some point in the lesson today, you're going to start to feel like, whoa, hang on, that's way too many notes. That's where you need to press pause on the video and just work on the section that you can already do easily. Maybe that's just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 notes, plus 1 note. So the section you can do plus 1 note. And then once that's done and that's easy, then come back to the video and then follow along with us on the next section. First thing I want to show you is a G. So in order to find a G, you're just going to take any group of 3 black notes, a cluster of 3. Don't use a cluster of 2. Use a cluster of 3. You're going to take the middle note in a cluster of 3 black notes and drag it slightly to the left, and you'll land on a G right there. So go ahead and play that one right there and say rock. You did that, you're on your way. That's the first note, that's rock, but it's rockin'. So for in, we're gonna have to go down, not to the next note, but the next note after that. So we're gonna go from here, we're gonna skip down and come right back. And that's rockin'. Try that on your own. Rockin'. Cool. So once we're back at this note right here, we wanna go up 1 note to that one right there. It happens to be called an A. You don't have to worry about the letter names, but we want rockin' around, just like that. That's gonna be kind of like a recurring theme in the song, rockin' around. In fact, the whole next section right here is all the same letters, E's and G's and A's. So the Christmas tree at, that's all just E's and G's and A's. The Christmas tree at. So just using those 3 notes right there, let's try to get almost the entire first line along with the track. But if you miss a bunch of notes, that's fine. I'm just gonna show you kind of how it would go with the track. If you wanna try to play along, that's fine. Get ready on the G, here we go. 1 and a 2, and a 1, 2, ready, go. Rockin' around the Christmas tree at. Yeah, okay, cool. So the next thing right here is an A with a hashtag, and the hashtag means they're lying to you. Sorry. So it says A, but it's not really an A. It's actually an A sharp. That's the more technical term for that hashtag. In music, hashtag is the word sharp. So it's supposed to be an A sharp, not an A, but the note that's slightly higher than an A, this one right here, this is an A sharp. So first you're going to play an A. This one right here is an A right there, and then this one right here is an A sharp. There we go. So that one right there, that's an A sharp. So we've got an A and then an A sharp, and then we're just gonna continue that same pattern from here to here to here, because that B is the next one. And this next section is probably the part that most people mess up on. So right here, this is kind of tricky to look at and to try to read the notes. B and then an A and then an F and then a D and then a B. But if you just take that B and you go down 1 note, then you're in position to just skip, skip, skip. So as long as you can skip over notes, you don't have to play them all at the same time like I am. But we're gonna play a B and then down 1 note and then skip, skip, skip. So just don't play the next note over, and you should be through the hardest section of the entire song. Christmas party hop. That's the part that like even I mess up on the most right there. Christmas party hop. There we go. So then the next section is going to be pretty much A's and B's, and you've already played those. And I'm guessing right about now is where a bunch of people were like, whoa, hang on, I need to try that. If that's the case, then try that. Just press pause and come back to the video later on. We need to get to a bunch of A's right here. Mistletoe, that's 3 A's all in a row, and then 2 B's, hung where. So mistletoe, hung where. And then we've got 1 line left and we're basically done. Couple more A's, you can see is a B, and then Ev. Now, before I get to every couple tries to stop, because that's going to be like the last section of it, let's try all of that with the track. Let me just show you what that would look like. Maybe you just get the first note, or the first 2 notes, or first 3 notes, whatever you can get. If you're in the archives, press pause right now, and then practice up whatever section it is that you're working on. If you're live with us, just get all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the ones that you miss. Let's all get ready on this G right here. Here we go. And a 2, and a 1, 2, ready, go. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Back up to this A up here. Mistletoe hung where you can see. Okay, cool. So then let me show you this part right here. Remember that thing we did before where we were on an A, and then we went up to an A sharp, and then we went up to a B, and like a little cluster of notes all together? We're gonna do the exact same thing, but upside down. So we're gonna start on an A. Instead of going up, we're gonna go down from here down to there. And that's every cup right there, every cup. And then the good news is, once you get on that one, just come back up the same way you went down. And those are actually the next notes. Every couple tries. You can definitely do that. Let me show you that one more time, starting on the A. Every couple tries. Okay, so then if that last, this section over here that I told you, Christmas party hop, if that was not the hardest section, then this one right here would be the hardest section, going from this A down to this C. It's a huge jump, it's irritating, it's annoying, it sounds great, but it's hard to play. You gotta go from this A down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes to the word 2. So tries, we go every couple tries, and then we gotta jump down to the C, and then just skip up to the E. So once find the E, once you've gotten to the C, that's not usually a problem. But going from that A to that C, that's a huge jump. So you might want to keep your eyes on that C. It's right below a group of 2 black notes. So you can just like keep your eye on that one below the group of 2 black notes when you're going every couple tries, and then find your C to stop. Now, if we do all of those exact same notes, again, rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries. Good news. That's the exact same thing you got to play for the second section. The words are different. Man, I had a feeling. Okay, so this will be our last time through. Fortunately, we just kind of skipped to the end here. So exact same notes, but different words. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. I'm playing the same thing as the top part. Everyone's dancing merrily in the new old fash. And then we've got 3 notes left, and this is what we're gonna do on the second ending. This is the only part that's different. Right here, we're on fash. So we already know all of those notes. All we need is we gotta make our way up to this C. So we're gonna go fashion way. Cool, that's it. Those are your 3 notes. Fashion way, in the new old-fashioned way. But if you want to, sing it like the original and have that last part be new old-fashioned way, like that, and have like a whole bunch of notes in there, we can accidentally miss this note and jump over it and come back to it. So we'd go in the new old-fashioned, but instead of hitting this note, we're gonna jump over it and pretend like we messed up. Oops, I went too far, and then come back and hit the C. So a little mistake on purpose there will help us get those last ones in the new old-fashioned way. Okay, so Clapple says it's our last time, but it's only our last time on level 1. We're going to practice this more on level 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's try this all together. Get all the notes that you can, and if you miss a whole ton of them, that's perfectly fine. That's totally reasonable. Let's all go together. Here we go. Starting on that G. And a 1, 2, ready, go. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Up to that A. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Now the exact same thing, but different words. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Then up to that A, everyone's dancing skip over way A. Okay, so that is all of the notes that you'll need for level 1. It'll take a lot of practice in order to be able to get that along with the track, but you got time. It's only December 14th right now, unless you're in the archives, and I don't know, maybe it's January or February. You got all year to work this thing up. So don't worry, you got time. Keep practicing. And Kendra, tell us about our weekly activity.
This week is the Grand Staff Spelling, and if you write the names of the notes, they all spell words. Find the words and tag Learn Piano Live when you post a picture on Facebook or Instagram, and our mascot penguin will hook you up with 150 bonus points. Won't you, Clawful?
Yeah, that's a huge help on like level 3 and 4, or if you're in Clawful Academy, really all the levels, but especially on level 2, we start reading a lot of music on the Grand Staff. But for right now, we're just gonna do some ear training. We call this game Higher or Lower. So I'm gonna play you 2 notes, and you have to tell me if the second note was higher or lower than the first note. You can tell me in the chat, or you can just guess out loud if you want. Let me give you an example here, though, before you compete head-to-head with Kendra. So these notes up here are higher, and these notes down here are lower. So if I played like that note, and then I played like that note, the second note was lower than the first note, because the first note was up here, and the second note was down here. But if I go like this, I play this one, and then I play this one, the second note was higher than the first note. So if you listen to it, and you try to like hum along or sing along, you gotta like think about like whether or not that note went up or whether it went down. So that's your goal, is to tell me whether it went up, whether the second note is higher, or whether it went down, whether the second note is lower. And of course, you're gonna be competing against one of the best ears that there is, the incomparable Kendra. So you will not be able to see any of the things that I'm playing here. You're just gonna have to guess by ear. Kendra, join us, and let's see here. So at home, just try to guess it before Kendra. Don't try to actually get more right than her, because she always gets these ones right. So first couple, I'm going to start way, way up high. So both of them are going to be high, but tell me, did the second note go up or did it go down? Is the second note higher or lower than the first one? Here we go. So this first one and the second one. Is the second note higher or lower than the first one? I'll play it again. Try to sing along. See if you can tell. Is the second note higher or lower than the first one? Kendra, what do you think?
I think the second one was lower.
The second one was lower.
Like
Nice
it
job.
was moving down.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
cool. So these next ones will be kind of low down here. Let's try this. If I go like this. Interesting. Second note higher or lower than the first one? One more time. Kendra, what do you think?
Well, I've noticed that sometimes the really low notes sound kind of spooky, and
Yeah.
that second one felt a little bit spookier, so I'm going to go with lower.
It was lower. Nice job. Okay, here's our last one. This one's going to be the toughest one of all of them. What is this one? Man, they're almost the same note. They're so close. But the second one is slightly higher or lower than the first note. Kendra, what do you think?
They are really close.
Mm-hmm.
I think the second one's higher.
It is just a little bit higher. We
Okay.
call that one a major third. So if you're doing ear training on Clawful Academy level, like I think 3 or 4, then that last one was a major third. That's pretty close. So that's higher or lower. You can play that on your own. But for right now, let's do a little bit of mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson, or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
And this week is from PG Lefebvre, who says, Dear Jamin, do you teach in-person lessons? I used to, but no, not anymore. Ever since COVID, it's all just on the internet. So I do teach one-on-one lessons, but I don't teach any private lessons anymore. So hopefully the world's going to change around and we'll be able to get back to that stuff. But if you are a Kids Learn Piano Live subscriber, then you can have private time with me. You can send me videos. I'll send you videos back, or we can set up a time to Zoom or whatever you need to work on the songs that you're wanting to do, even if it's not one of the ones we do in the lesson here. So let me know, and we can definitely have some private one-on-one time where we go over the music that you're wanting to do. So for right now, let's do a little bit of secret information.
Secret information.
And this week, in our top secret information folder, we've got some information about this song right here. This one says that in this song, there are just 2 chords because it's a modified blues. So if you're in Clapple Academy, I think it's level 4, we start talking about what the blues is and how it's just using the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord. Well, this one just uses the 1 and the 5 chord. Let me show you real quick what that means. But it's kind of secret information, like most people don't know about this stuff. But we're in the key of C here. So in the key of C, C would be 1. All right, cool. Now, if you're in level 5, you do this stuff too, where if you're playing the 5 chord, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The G would be the 5 chord. The only 2 chords we have in this whole song are the C and the G. So when you see your left hand, especially in level 3 and on level 5, you'll notice it's just the 1 and the 5. And usually if you just have the 1 and the 5 in a song, either it's a nursery rhyme or it's some kind of modified blues. So this one just has 2 chords in it, which is kind of uncommon. The other thing in the folder says that this one uses a cache in the bonus material. Okay, let me show you this over here. We've barely talked about a cache before. If we go down to the bonus material, there's 3 pages to this song. It includes the saxophone solo and everything. This one has something called a cache. Now, I don't even think this shows up really in Clapple Academy until like level 9 or 10, like some of the last levels. But a cache is where you have a chord like, this one right here. This chord has a cache in it. So it's an F minor chord. A cache is just when you have some chord and then the bottom note moves down by a half step. So if you listen real carefully in the original recording, you'll hear the F minor happen and then the bottom note will move down to E and then E flat and then E. So when they're singing, voices singing Let's Be Jolly, voices singing Let's Be Jolly, it's that's a cache, and that only shows up in the bonus material because that is in the bridge part of the song. But if you hear that in the song, pretty much like once you've played one of those caches, then you'll kind of start to hear it in other songs too. You'll be like, I think that's a cache. Like the chords staying the same, but just one note of it's kind of moving around. That's pretty cool. That's all the secret information that we have in the folder, which means we're down to our last secret, which is who won the raffle? Maybe it's you.
So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.